Thank you. Good morning. I'm going to call the Board of Public Safety meeting for Tuesday, August 11th to order. Nancy, if we could get a roll call?
All four of our members are with us this morning in the council chambers. Tessa Barnes,
Present.
Stacy Davis, LaLaisha Black,
Here.
Anthony Coleman.
Here.
I'd like to note for the record there is one vacancy on this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. If I could get a motion to approve the agenda as presented this morning?
Okay. I make a motion to approve the agenda as corrected, changing the meeting minutes to be approved from July 28, 2026, rather than July 14, 2026, and the Communication Center monthly report to reflect June and July 2026 rather than 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, and that first item is those meeting minutes from Tuesday, July 28th. Could I get a motion to place those on record?
I move that we approve the minutes from the regular meeting on July 28th, 2026, and place them on file.
And I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And the next item on our agenda is our Board of Public Safety Claim and Allowance docket.
I'll make a motion to approve the claim and allowance docket in the amount of $111,437.48, consisting of 8 pages prepared on 8/4/2026 at 12:26 p.m.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. All right. The next items on our agenda are from our police department. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Andy Whitmire, Interim Chief of the Elkhart Police Department. We have 4 items on the agenda today. The first one would be a Axon LPR trial. We are asking for approval for a 60-day trial for Axon using their LPR cameras. As you know, Axon is a primary system we use with body cams, evidence, and a handful of other softwares in the building. So we'd be looking at their LPR cameras to help consolidate systems so we don't get too broad and have too many logins to track and keep track of. So we'd ask approval for a 60-day chance to work through their LPR program and their systems.
All right. Could I get a motion?
I make a motion to approve the amended contract with ACP, wrong one, Axon. I caught myself. I make a motion to approve the Axon LPR trial for a 60-day trial at no cost to the city, with permission for Captain Travis to sign on, Travis Snyder to sign on behalf of the city.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the ACP Entertainment Addendum. It's referenced the contract we use for the Night Out Against Crime for the inflatable entertainment for the kids. We know before we had to work on the contract. This is the amended contract. I'd also like to note that the Night Out Against Crime went extremely well. It was a good venue, a good turnout, and as always, the inflatables seem to attract the kids to bounce and jump around. So we'd ask approval for the amended contract for ACP Entertainment and their inflatable equipment we used.
All right. Hearing no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the amended contract for ACP Entertainment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Perfect. The third item on the agenda is reference the Flock invoice. We signed a contract with Flock in 2023 for 5 years, and we are asking for approval to pay the Flock invoice for 2026 in the amount of $57,794.67.
I move that we approve the payment for the Flock invoice for 2026 in the amount of $57,794.67.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I had a question.
Oh, item for discussion.
I just needed to know what the whole balance was. I couldn't figure it out through the invoices. Because it's a five-year contract. And the invoice to pay just says balance due, but I didn't see, I saw where there was a note earlier saying that they needed to see the credit. And so I saw where they reflected the credit, but I didn't see where the whole balance was showing.
I don't know that the invoice attached.
Right, but when you add that, that's not 5 years.
I don't know that the invoice attached shows the total initial contract agreement. I can get that. I don't want to speak to it by notes that are handwritten on this one, but I can get you that answer. I know it was set up in 5 years of installment payments, so I can speak to this year's installment payment, but I can't speak to the total of it. I don't want to misspeak in this venue to the total of the 5-year contract.
Okay.
Is that information you can get and just send it through email so that we can see it?
Yes, I can
Before
get
the
it.
next-
I can get it and send it. I just don't want to risk saying the wrong thing here.
Sure. So could we say that we would agree to the payment and just request a total be sent to us?
I would say,
All right, we have a motion and second on the table. And then all in favor of paying this invoice?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
And the last item on the agenda for us is requesting to renew our services with Burla. Burla is essentially a software program that allows us to download vehicle information. So during the course of investigations, if we get a warrant, we're able to plug into and access the vehicle information, and it gives us, depending on the year, make, and model of the vehicle, it gives us different information about what that vehicle had done, speeds, brakes, all kinds of different information. Again, that varies on the manufacturer, but Burla has been a huge tool for us when investigations involve vehicles. When we're able to obtain a search warrant, it gives us a tremendous amount of information. So we would like to continue and renew their service with a cost of $4,250.
I move that we approve Burla plan renewal in the amount of $4,250 and give Captain Snyder permission to sign on behalf of the city.
I second that.
That's not the total.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right.
That's all we have. Just a brief notification, we did swear 2 new officers in yesterday at the merit board, so that's good. We always welcome new officers. And like I mentioned before, the Night Out Against Crime at Studebaker Park it was a great venue. It had shade, which is always nice, and we had a great turnout. I don't have the specific numbers. I can tell you, it sounds like we made 1,900 hot dogs, and there were none left. I'm not saying people took more than one, but that's a rough estimate of 1,900 hot dogs, and there were 0 left. I only had 1, so that's all I can count for. But so it was a good turnout, good atmosphere. So we're looking forward to next year. So,
Wonderful.
perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We don't have anything for the fire department this month, but we do have 2 reports for our communication center.
Yes, good morning. Dustin McLean, Department Head for the 911 Center. I've got June and July's 2026 month-end reports. I apologize for getting June to you so late. It's been a little crazy over there in the dispatch center.
Well, it's not like we haven't had a ton of storms. and-
Exactly. But I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys may have. Perfect.
I like your shirt.
Well, thank you. Wife picked it out. She
Kind of twins today.
she dresses me. She dresses me great every morning. So
How are your new people doing?
we have two of our trainees. Or one of them is wrapping up. Another one has just maybe another month or so is what we're estimating at this point. We actually have a follow up at the end of this week to figure out where they're at, and then we'll be opening the hiring pool. We currently are four positions down, but the next hiring pool we should be able to bring another 2 or 3 on to start filling some more seats. So again, it takes about 6 months to go through the training process, but optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they stayed. That's a stressful job.
It definitely is, yes. It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
I know I couldn't do it.
All right, I would ask for approval for the June and July month-end reports.
I move that we accept the Communication Center month-end report for June and July 2026. As we accept them as presented and place them on file.
And I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. And just a heads up for you guys, there is one more storm that's going to be blowing through a little bit later today. So just make sure, I think it was around 1 to 4 p.m. Just keep an eye out, make sure that you're being cautious on the roads if you're out and about.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
guys.
Dustin.
Have a good one.
All right, we don't have any other public safety matters. And the next item that I would require a motion to remove from the table for consideration.
I'm going to suggest taking a quick recess, since we don't have both parties present. I'd like to go upstairs and see if I have an email or if there's difficulties
Okay.
Okay.
for the attorney signing on or something. So if you wouldn't mind taking a brief recess, I'd like to go check on that.
All right, I'd like to call for a brief recess. All right, we are going to return from recess, and We are going to make a motion to remove from table for consideration the hearing for, I don't want to say his last name wrong. Can you pronounce the officer's last name?
I'm no expert. Tyler might be able to tell us correctly. I would say Tyler Keppel is my understanding.
Keppel, okay. For Officer Keppel's hearing. Could I get a motion? To remove it from the table, because right now on the agenda, it's postponed.
I move that we remove it from the table, the hearing for Tyler Copel.
All right, in a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Good morning, Board. Rose Rivera with Legal. I am here to request that we remove, currently Tyler Keppel is on unpaid admin leave. This board had previously placed him in that status due to an internal investigation. At this point, he is facing two sets of two criminal cases, and in each case, 2 counts of criminal charges, and for that reason, today we're requesting that Tyler Keppel be placed on unpaid admin leave until those criminal charges can be resolved or other proceedings can take place to resolve his status. You have before you 4 items. In terms of time, the first item would be case number 20D032608 F60000839 in Elkhart Superior Court 3. In that case, Officer Keppel has been charged with a count of attempted residential entry, which is a level 6 felony, as well as a count of unlawful use of a police radio, which is a class B misdemeanor. The charging information alleges that on or about June 29th, Officer Keppel knowingly broke and entered into the dwelling of another person. It also alleges that on or about June 29th, Tyler Keppel used a police radio application to avoid detection by a law enforcement agency. You also have the affidavit to show probable cause there, which gives more detail describing that he was in a conversation with, we'll call her victim 1, and she did tell him she texted to him, I suppose, or talked to him, letting him know, communicating she wasn't interested in talking much. He, at the end of his shift, appeared at her door of her apartment in uniform. He had a key to enter, which he attempted to use, but she had engaged the chain lock system. He attempted to break that chain lock system, and then when the call went out, he attempted to first slow down officers and then ask them to disregard the call and to not respond. So that's the basis of those charges. The second set of charges is related to cause number 20D042607 CM-001252. In that cause number, you have count 1, invasion of privacy, a class A misdemeanor, and count 2 of invasion of privacy, a class A misdemeanor. The charging information there alleges essentially that on July 6, 2026, Officer Keppel was served with 2 separate orders of protection, protecting victim 1 and victim 2, 2 separate victims. Within 10 minutes, he was texting these victims. Additionally, he sent a request for the location of 1 victim after receiving notice, after being served with a protective order. So based on these 4 criminal charges, we are requesting that you place Tyler Keppel on unpaid admin leave. Thank you.
I have a question, Rose. What is the relationship with the 2 victims?
I don't, I'll let Mr. Keppel answer that question if he wants to, just because that isn't in the information here.
Okay.
It's not on there.
Do we have any statement from Officer Keppel's attorney or comment?
Mr. Arnold, you need to unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, he's muted.
Does Officer Keppel's attorney have any statement with regards to this request?
It looked like he unmuted himself, but we still can't hear him.
Sir, we're unable to hear you.
Mr. Arnold, can you hear us?
Wonder is there any way they can call his office?
I could try giving, like, if we can see him, I could try calling him and putting the cell phone to the microphone.
That would work.
What in the world? Mr. Keppel, can you hear us?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Arnold?
Yes.
Okay, I've got you to the microphone if you want to make your statement.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. So the last thing that Mr. Rivera read through the two sets of charges, and there's a bit of a distinction in my representation. So I represent Tyler in the administrative
I
portion.
can't hear you.
Put the phone closer to the microphone.
And then he has legal counsel in one of the criminal cases. My understanding is that as of yesterday, when the court closed, there was a probable cause affidavit that had been filed, but I don't know that any charging decision had been made on the second case. So, I really can only speak to the administrative process that you're engaged in right now, and would just make a request on his behalf that if there is some administrative or non-law enforcement duty that he could engage in and continue in a paid status, that would be his request. But I don't know that he would be making any comments today about those cases. And my understanding is that there's some discrepancies, some serious discrepancies in some of the probable cause and some things that he has some disagreements with. So that's his request this morning. I appreciate you guys allowing us to be here and make a statement. I apologize for all of the technical difficulties that I've had.
So what is the normal process for these types of situations? Is it typically unpaid leave and during the investigation, or is it because of the circumstances surrounding these cases that it's unpaid leave?
So from the city's perspective, I can say that any time since I've been here as a city attorney that we have had an officer charged criminally, when we were permitted per the FOP contract, we have requested that that officer be placed on unpaid admin leave.
Regardless of the circumstances of the case?
I think anytime that someone is criminally charged, we generally feel the circumstances are serious enough to warrant that.
Chief, if you
okay.
have context, you can definitely share.
Okay.
Sure. Reference that question about this. Andy Whitmire, interim sheriff. Come from earlier. Signed in earlier, does that count? Signed in twice? Okay. Andy Whitmire, interim chief, referenced the unpaid status. The contract and the past practice has been, if you're charged with a crime, it opens the discretion based on the nature of the case to do it. There has been instances in the past where they've been charged with a crime, but based on the totality of the nature, they were moved to a light duty. Based on the nature of this is a different scenario where there is no real other option for placement based on the nature of this. So to answer their question, yes, in the past there has been pending charges of some sort in a criminal nature where they have been removed from duty and allowed to do other things. But that's very much dependent on the nature of the charge and the circumstances around it.
Thank you for explaining that. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make that clear.
I have a question for you. Did this gentleman put in a request for other duties?
Sorry, say that again?
Did he put in a request for any other duties aside from patrolling? Don't you have
surrounding this,
in-house?
It sounds like that's what they're doing today.
Okay.
But they're based on the nature and the circumstances known to us and the criminal nature of the charges, that we don't have that option.
Okay. And it's also not brought to us today, so if that were to be something formal, then that would have to come separately, because it's not actually listed in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for clarification, we did put him on paid leave, correct? And then this other allegation came after we put him on paid leave? Is that,
Yes, there was an initial event that we can, it's much easier to put them on paid leave immediately, and that was done, I don't have the date in front of me exactly, but that was done
on the
on
14th?
a evening, and he was put on paid admin leave immediately. Things develop, more information such as charging information comes to light, and the request is now unpaid admin leave.
Okay.
I have that date, Chief, in front of me. It was July 14th.
Okay. Any other questions? And do we know,
Have we had, and maybe I didn't hear it, have we had both sides of this story? I mean, this person hasn't been convicted yet, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I just wondered if we heard both sides of the story, you know. His is probably going to be different from hers, and, you know, I just wanted it to be fair across the board, that we know everything on both sides.
Well, Mr. Couple is here, and he is represented by counsel, and he has the opportunity to provide whatever statement he deems fit.
Okay.
I think that's part of the leave so that they can do a thorough investigation and make sure all the information is evaluated equally.
But even with that, we're looking at pay versus non-pay. That's what he's looking at, until this investigation is completed.
I think if the nature of the circumstances were different, it would have, according to the chief, it would have been an opportunity to place him in a different position until the investigation was done. But because of the nature of the
I understand what
charges,
you're
that's not
saying,
an
but
opportunity.
was this boyfriend and girlfriend or something?
That's what I asked a few minutes ago. Nobody answered.
I would direct that question to Mr. Couple if he wants to answer who this person was to him.
Sir, was this a girlfriend of yours?
And there were two victims, because you said victim 1 and victim 2. That's why I wanted to know the relationship, because there were two victims.
Officer Keppel, is there any statement that you would like to provide?
I believe my attorney is trying to speak as far as regards to that.
Let me see if I can. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't hear anything from the dais because Ms. Rivera, I can only hear what's close to your phone. So I wasn't sure what the question was that was posed to Officer Koppel.
Oh, my apologies. So the question was,
What's the relationship of the victims to the officer?
Well, the three.
What's the relationship between Tyler Keppel, victim 1, and victim 2?
And I guess I'm not sure who I don't know who they're requesting be victim 1 and who's victim 2. My understanding is there was only one complainant, unless I'm missing out on something that was in the second set of charges. I know that when this all stems from an alleged incident that occurred that was the nexus for the 2 charges that have been approved. I believe those are 2 invasion of privacy charges, and then there was a probable cause affidavit filed, but I had not seen that probable cause had been found. My understanding was that was all the same complainant.
But the question is, what, is it his sister? Is it a friend? Is it an ex-girlfriend? Is it a neighbor?
Did you hear that?
No, I was not able to hear that.
Board Member Daisy Davis wanted to know, was it his sister? Was it a friend? Was it a neighbor? Like,
I'm sorry, it was an acquaintance. Yes.
What are we missing here?
That's
What are we not
very
being
vague.
told? Why is it hard to discover what the relationship
Yeah,
is?
I know, that's
with
very
three?
vague. Like acquaintance, is it somebody?
It sounds like that needs to be.
the response is that that's very vague.
Acquaintance is vague. This is the future mother of his child. They live together. So, is that clear enough?
Okay, that's why I said we need 2 sides of a story because
I wanted to know because it gives better context to the information we have, but if that's all they want to give, we can.
Well, did you hear his response? He said it's the future mother of his child.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
okay, so that I'm clear, that was number 1, and you say there are 2 victims? What's the relationship with the other?
What I would say is it's an ongoing criminal investigation that there's yet to be a trial or a finding, and I'm aware of that and I understand your concern. I also understand the concern of that based on our knowledge of everything, the stuff we were directly involved with on one of the evenings and then stuff we followed up with, also my experience as a police officer and familiarity with Elkhart County, they don't make arrests or press or file charges if they're not confident in what they're doing. So I understand the 2 sides of the stories, but we're kind of butted up against 2 things. There's an ongoing criminal investigation. I understand I don't take it personally when they're reluctant to answer those questions. It's not a personal thing. It's just there's an ongoing investigation. There's an ongoing process. And to sit here publicly and speak to those doesn't do any of the parties any justice. On the second note, to address your concern, I also understand there's 2 sides to the story, and by no part do I personally or does the Elkhart Police Department take any of putting an officer on unpaid leave lightly. It's not just something we jump to because it's a clause in a book or a contract. We very much have a very good understanding of the totality of the circumstances of what's going on and what led to the initial arrest and led to the charges being filed. And we're very, based on the police department's perspective, it's something that we are requesting based on the totality of it. I understand. I would very much like to stand here and tell you all the nitty-gritty details, but I'm hoping you understand that we can't do that. Not because I personally don't want to, just because there's a bigger system.
Right.
Well, I don't want to make a decision on a man's pay based upon what somebody said he did,
Right. I understand.
Till, to me, something's missing out of this, and I don't know what it is. Does it seem like it to anybody else?
I understand it's a balance because we want to be well informed because this is serious. This is somebody's ability to take care of their family, and there's other consequences to not being paid. My question, can you give us an example of maybe a circumstance where an officer was charged with something, but they were able to stay and move into a different position so it wasn't unpaid leave? They could just, while the investigation was going, keep getting paid, but maybe move into a different, that might help give us a better perspective.
To my knowledge, in my 20 years, I've only known of it happening once, and it was a case where the initial complaint never arose to the level of an arrest.
Oh, okay.
It never arose to the level of arrest, and it was only, it was a misdemeanor, and he ended up following through, and he was found not guilty. And the facts and circumstances and the immediate evidence available, both to law enforcement and the police department, were completely different than this scenario.
Thank you.
In my personal opinion, reading this and the severity of it and the data, there's actual dates and times that are shared here in timeline and use of equipment in a way that seems not appropriate. My opinion agrees with the unpaid administrative pending investigation.
I would agree with that. Is there anything else you want to say, Rose?
I would just add that in the June incident, we were the responding agency, and we were involved in that internal investigation, so we do have some kind of knowledge of the incident. It's not just a police report that we're reading.
Correct.
Is there anything else the attorney wants to say before we make a motion, or?
Will you repeat that for him, just in case he can't hear it?
Is there anything else that you would like to say, Mr. Arnold, before they take a motion and a vote?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just kind of,
Yeah, we
I
were
don't
able to
think we
hear
have
you.
enough information. I just don't believe in going on a one-sided story.
Well,
Oh.
this,
That's
Is
just
it,
my opinion.
is it important to share that if he were found cleared of the, if he were found cleared of the charges, that if we put him on non-paid, he would get his pay later? If,
Proactive.
So in an imaginary future, if he beats all the charges and there, that, depending on how the internal investigations go, let's say ultimately he keeps his job, then yes, his pay would all be returned. If he were to get like a suspension, then his pay would be returned except for those suspension days, would be what would happen.
thank you.
I have another question. Is he able to exhaust any vacation days or any other benefit days that he has while he's on unpaid leave?
That is a question that I do not know the answer to. Do you have any idea? I don't know. Certainly, whether he's able to use it now, what I can tell you is I know comp time is his. So if he has comp time, we can't take that away because it's earned time. As to vacation and sick time, that's a little more complicated.
Are we allowed to ask that question of him? Does he have comp time or any other times
They
that
all
he
do.
could be using?
I don't know if he knows the answer to it. That might be more an HR question, but you could certainly ask him. Mr. Arnold, did you hear the question?
No, I was not able to hear the question.
The question is whether or not Officer Keppel has time, such as comp time, that he might be able to use during this suspension time, and whether you know the answer to that.
I don't know that he has any comp time built up. I'm not sure that he does either, nor do I have an understanding of what access he might have to look into those banks. But forcing him to use earned time during a suspension also raises its own questions. So. But I don't know, to answer the question, I don't know what time he may or may not have.
okay, thank you.
Can I make a motion?
Yeah.
I have one more question. I don't know is there anybody in this building from HR that could provide any context before? I don't know if their offices are in here or not. Oh, okay.
Nope.
Well, when I was working, if we had comp time, you automatically know it. You know how many vacation days you have, you know what comp time you have. Is he able to speak on his time, or is his attorney just speaking for him?
Yeah, he's choosing not to speak,
Oh,
which is definitely his right to do.
Well, I make a motion to place Patrolman Tyler Copel on unpaid administrative leave effective Tuesday, August 11, 2026 at 9 a.m.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. None opposed. Thank you. All right. Yes. At this point in our Board of Public Safety meeting, we would like to open the floor for any public participation or comments. All right. Hearing none, I would take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.